Good day and welcome to the overview of the AVC Specialist Hopper Wrapper System. The Hopper Wrapper System will deliver discrete impacts to the sides of hoppers and bunkers, chutes, etc. to dislodge dry bulk material so it moves down to a point of departure. The heart of the system is the model SRA1 wrapper, of which we have two of them standing here ready to operate. It will deliver discrete controlled blows of variable impact and frequency to the sides of the hopper. That's accomplished by use of the Rappercon900 system, which is a basic wrapper controller. But to return to the heart of our system, it is the wrapper, the model SRA1 wrapper. Its advantages are easily demonstrated with this cutaway version of the wrapper. The wrapper itself is a tube that's completely sealed bottom and top. Well, if I put the electrical cap on it, it would be totally sealed, and operates a hammer that moves up and down within the field of an electric coil. So we will connect an electric line here that will provide current to operate an electromagnet to lift the hammer up and compress this spring. Depending upon the length of time that we apply the power will determine how far we will compress the spring and how much energy will be returned when we release the electric power and the hammer is accelerated downward or upward or sideways, whichever way it's oriented, to the mount. And you can see it's got a complete seal here and there. So they will not receive contaminants from cement dust, metals from smelters, or any other harsh environment. In fact, the wrapper may be hosed down completely with a fire hose and will not have any problems. Temperature, this wrapper can operate at an environmental temperature of up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit without a problem. Now, we come here and we look at the typical mounting hardware for the wrapper. It consists of a channel that's about, in this case, 24 inches long. It could be any other length, but this will be welded to the side of the hopper, bin, whatever, that is going to be impacted for the material to be dislodged. But it being carbon steel, the weld to the carbon steel is good, and it spreads the impact over a larger area within the hopper itself, so we do not work harden nor crack the underlying material. Now, if the temperature of this hopper side should be 250 degrees Fahrenheit or less, we could directly bolt the wrapper to this mount. But what you see between the base of the wrapper and the normal mount is a thermal temperature isolator. It's made from stainless steel and it has a very poor thermal conductivity. So it isolates the base of the wrapper from the temperature on the skin of the hopper. This will be made in various lengths depending upon the temperature of the hopper material inside. Now, what we have here is returning to the Rappercon900 system. We have a unit here that is built for a customer who asked us to separate the power switching equipment from the controller equipment. So there are two separate enclosures. So if I open this enclosure, you can see inside a circuit breaker, some big isolation transformers, fuses, contactors, and connection points. Very simple device. So when I put this in here and I close this, I will power this up, and that will begin operation of the Rappercon900 controller system. Right now it's starting, so you see this screen is changed to blue as the unit energizes. While it's energizing, I will show you some of the internal components. Now, This, you can see from the outside, was a touchscreen display. We're looking at the back side, and it is connected to the heart of the Rappercon, which is all these circuit cards contained within this card cage. The cards are removable out the side via these pieces here if you ever have to do any maintenance. But all the switching to control the power to the different wrappers, all the impact energy so that a wrapper has a specific impact and a specific frequency is controlled in here. And the power we sent from the switch box here, which is now only 120 volts, enters this control cabinet. Again, it's fuse protected, and then the controller will run and operate. Connections to the wrappers are provided. This is the hot side to one of our demonstration wrappers. This is the return current. And we have a second wrapper attached. There's actually two separate independent operating power systems within the Rappercon for very good reliability and dependability. Now, with the device closed, we will start operating the wrappers. So, one of the things we talked about was, the controllability here. So if I just hit the start button, the controller will start operating this particular wrapper. And you can hear it, and right now the program will increase the impact in about 6 steps so we can demonstrate impact controllability. You can hear the sounds getting louder and louder as the wrapper is operating. So we'll continue to do this through several cycles. Now, we can also control the frequency. So I'll simply go to a different program, and to switch programs, all I can do is stick my finger up here on the screen, and now you will hear the wrapper stay at a constant impact, but you'll hear it hit slowly, and then as we're standing here, the frequency will come up. So in about another 5 or 6 seconds, we'll be wrapping up about 6 wraps a second. Okay, now it'll keep increasing the frequency. I will change the program and demonstrate the fact that the wrapper controller operates more than one wrapper. Now we're just operating this wrapper. Next, this wrapper will operate. But one of the interesting features is that the wrapper controller will next operate both wrappers simultaneously. And you can see where that can develop a lot of energy over an area of the hopper to dislodge the material. Now, the Rappercon can operate wrappers singly, 2 at a time, and all the way up to 4 at a time. So you can operate 4 wrappers simultaneously to cover large areas. If you have a pyramid hopper, that's really nice because you can put a wrapper around each of the sides and have an impact. Okay, now, as far as programmability, you, the owner, can do many, many things to adjust the impact and the frequency of the wrappers, the timing of the wrappers, very simply through this touchscreen display. We'll just do a very brief overview of what this screen looks like. In this case, this is the main screen, and we know that the wrappers are on, the computer is running, and we can see the little lights flash when it goes to wrap. This demonstrates the current drawn by each of the different wrappers. So when the wrappers are running, we know how much the current is, we know what the operating voltage is. If one of the electrical systems turns out to be faulty, we can ask the machine. Simply, there's a series of tabs across the top that let you address various things. In this case, we're asking, is there any bad faulty circuits? And this would be a display. If there was, there would be a list, and it would tell you what time the fault occurred and what kind of fault it was, whether it was electrically opened or shorted. Now, there's many other things that I don't want to, too numerous to go through, but I want to show you a couple of things that are very important from a user standpoint. One is to bring a system together. You can set the timing clocks, you can change the lift of every device. But one of the important things, the most useful, would be to change the impact, frequency, on time and off time that the wrapper runs. And you notice the schedule here, where I've got a list of different wrappers, different wrapper programs. So I can change it, and I can say on time, run for 1 second, 3 seconds, 5 seconds for the wrapper, wrap it at a different frequency. I can change it to wrap it, in this case, you'll notice 4 wraps per second, but then maybe 10 wraps a second. Not 10 wraps a second, but 6 wraps per second, or 1 wrap per second. I can change the impact or the energy it hits with. It's all user adjustable. And that's one of the simple features. There's other interesting parts. It's graphing. Graphing will, when a wrapper runs, it'll actually show the electrical current and the flow in half cycles. But it is a multi-function controller that allows you to adjust the wrappers to what you need them to operate, or where you need them to operate. Thank you. Perfect.